Supreme rising. Supreme rising. Everybody know the vibes. Give me another gold hoop. Anyway, you see the title. The difference in between Supreme Rising. Hey. The difference in between you have some people that experience things on the surface. And you have some people that innately experience it on the inside. So that's the difference in holding your head high upwards or feeling low inward if these certain values ain't taken into consideration. This is important because a lot of people don't know who they are, like, or what they are. And because you don't know what you are, there's like an impediment in how you comprehend what's happening in your existence opposed to what should happen. And naturally, the system set these things in motion to ensure that division is going to happen via, if it falls into the contrast of it being funny or heavyweight, whatever, anything to push and pull, tug of war. The reason why I'm setting the tone this way is because it's important to comprehend how things should be done. And all right, for example, Supreme Rising. For example, sometimes we eat food, right? And some food you'll eat it even though you're getting full. It's so good that it hits you different. Like that shit hits your soul. You be like, damn, yo, that shit, it ain't even about getting hungry. It's about, you know what I'm saying, how this shit making me feel. You be like, yo, that food is almost, that's like home. You know what I'm saying? Like you just automatically get this energy to it. And then sometimes you go through your day and you just eat. Like, and you know, it's nothing. I ate, $5.99, I ate, whatever. Leftovers, I ate. It ain't that serious. You know what I'm saying? We carry ourselves with situations the same way. Some people will get a job just because they need money, but they don't enjoy the job. So they'll talk shit about where they eat at. You see what I'm saying? Some people will hustle and they'll be making money in a legal form, but they'll make that money where they lay their head at. You know what I'm saying? You'll get in a relationship and you like what you dealing with when you get with it because you're getting something from it, but you don't see what's in it. And these are two different types of people. And these circumstances end up becoming attached to DNA. And we don't even see it. You don't pay attention to it. You don't think about it. But then when the negative aspect comes apart or comes about to whatever value, this is the real reason why there's no connection and comprehension. For so long, you might have been just visualizing this from the surface, and somebody else might have been looking at it from what's inside of it. And those two communications are never going to be based off the full totality of a value. Unless you go get a job that you really want to deal with, of course you're not going to be happy because you really don't want to be there. And if it's all just about getting money, then you're going to be upset while you're getting money. You got to make it make sense, right? So despite whatever the polarity is, you have to be a part of it. The reason why I made that the second level of stairs is because this third level of stairs is going to give you clarity on why you feel the way you do when you're in these positions. Because divine don't make no mistakes, but you keep turning off your capability. So on the next level, the third level of steps, you start to pick up symbols and you see things in your dreams. You feel things like goosebumps in your flesh. Your body moves in a certain way. You pick up these flashes of energy that's trying to tell you something and it's pushing you towards a thought. Majority of the time, you'll be like, man, that shit is nothing. I'm tripping. If some of you people like to speak, you'll speak it to someone and they'll be like, you looking too deep in the shit. If you wake up out of your sleep and you feel something, they'll be like, yo, you be tripping. And that might be because the other individual can't look deeper in, and their aspect of receival is only on the surface. So no, they don't know that you're using something that you don't comprehend that you're using. You're using it naturally because you're looking inward, you're looking deep in. So those things come with that. They're seeing and receiving what's on the surface, so they don't even know how to see deep in. So when you're explaining from a different value, that's the conjunction, that's the clash. That's like two different cars don't know they going on the same road in the opposite, and they boom, and they hit. And then you like, why you don't hear me? Trading two base, multiple side. My user is um. So Supreme Rising. So it's important because you have to look at what you're naturally able to access. You know what I'm saying? And those things can't be made mystifying. They can't be used as, oh, you just tripping in your mind because they came on without you having no control of it. When you get a feeling and that feeling points you in a direction that's to your capability, rationalizing it for you and your capability, and you had no access to that, that's like all of a sudden I'm tired and something told you to go to sleep. That's like all of a sudden you're hungry and something told you it's time to eat. All of a sudden you get a nudge to go this way. It works in the same understanding. So why would you put that away? Why would you put that down to say I must be tripping? No, today people like to say red flags and then you comprehend it to whatever's visual because the world has to control the outcome and have a notion of what's actually happened so they can document it so then they can have a visualization to look at so then they can say, hey, I might be going through the same thing. No, that's because people don't want to walk through their own damn road. That's the fourth stairs, but I ain't even going upstairs yet. I'm still on the third one because you got to be able to turn on your capability. Stop thinking divine didn't give you what you need. No, you feel these things because you're supposed to. When you mix with any situation, you breathe the air in any situation, you're in conjunction with the human body. People give off a frequency. If I take two coins and rub them together, eventually they're gonna get hot because of frequency. They're trading friction. So if I go to a job and I'm in this area, I'm frequently in these people. I'm breathing the same air they're breathing. We're seeing each other. Our energy is gonna rub off. I'm gonna start vibing. I'm gonna start feeling shit naturally, and I can be like, no, I ain't really whatever. But why is you feeling it naturally? It's because you're supposed to. You pick up energy from everywhere else. You can pull energy out of your body and pull energy in from the earth, the bottom of your feet, from the top of your head too. So what makes you think you're not feeling all around you? You feel when an electric bolt hit the ground, you feel it. You get the goosebumps. So you're not feeling what you frequently being a part of every day? Yes, you are. You just not wanting to look at that shit. You just trying to keep the money flowing. You saying, well, I'll accept whatever come. No, you hear loud and clear. You just not paying attention. So you need to start paying attention. You need to start saying, yeah, you know what? Nah, I peep that. Nah, I vibe that. Because a person's thought pattern leads into an action. And if you can think it so hard, then that means it's some sincerity behind that because it was so strong enough for me to pick up on it. Thirdly, that means an action will follow that notion. This is the comprehension to each level of these different feelings and their definition. So once you start understanding what you're feeling and what comes with that, yeah, you're going to perceive a notion. Of course. It's common sense. This is why intelligence plays the role. You really got to understand. Stop saying, oh, what I felt is nothing, because it's not nothing. You didn't pick up on it by yourself, so obviously something trying to guide you somewhere. You dig what I'm saying? And that's the truth. So I don't know if everybody be on that type time, but I know a lot of people talk about that type time, and what I hear that's missing is the value that you don't comprehend, that the feelings you picking up on, they have ratios to them, and everything is scaled. So as that intensity rises, that's showing you levels. People be like, yo, they be screaming at you. What's screaming at you then? A comprehension of energy that's trying to filter through that you're not digressing to. You're not letting it filter through. This is why stillness is important, yo. And when you still, you're not moving. You're not all into something. When you speak and you're angry, your mind is going like this. It's a lot of thoughts going at one time. So no, you can't feel no soft energy. Divine is not going blad at you. Divine going to just say, here. You got to be in tune to hear it. Why is your alpha mind the most stable and calmest and slowest? Because it's at its most highest peak, but it's the highest frequency. So that means you got to be at your calmest to hear divine energy. Of course I want to keep y'all frustrated. Of course I want to keep you in your head screaming and going crazy so you can't hear the real message. That's how that works. So in any situation, job, I don't give a damn what it is, family, love, listen. Be still and listen, because if you're willing to do, right, certain things, then that tells me how you feel about me. How far you're willing to go in whatever choice you choose to do shows me how you look at me and how you feel about me. Say, but I feel this way about you. Or I really want this opportunity. Or I'm really trying my hardest. You don't have to do none of that shit. You just got to understand where you at. Save your energy and keep it pushing. I ain't trying to hold you, yo. Just a short knowledge, little drop of jewel real quick. You know what I'm saying? This will upload real fast because it ain't that long. But that's really how it works. We expelling too much energy trying to prove a point when shit already shows you what it is. If that's how it's going to represent, if that's how it's going to deal with you, then you know the level of how far it's going to continue going. It's showing you your future while you dealing with it at the current moment. Whatever the situation is, your first day on the job, they giving you your ass to kiss and they don't care that you got the knowledge and all that. You know damn well they going to fuck with you for the next 6 months. You going to stay there? People don't got no respect for you. They going to do whatever they want to do behind your back, in your face, whatever. A lot of you, you know what? They going to treat you like that for a long time. You going to stay there? You got to comprehend, yo. And you got to, when you get older, you got to learn to make better decisions. When you're younger, it's different. You don't know better. When you get older, you're like, damn, I saw that. You better act like you know. NAGA the Wise. Enjoy your weekend.